moment we all been waiting for. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. And it's here, man. Yes, it is. Giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom Labakarium Shah Yasha'Allah. That's peace to the elect of the nation of Yasha'Allah, the nation of Israel, who consists of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians scattered throughout North, Central, and South America, and the rest of the planet Earth. We here. Time is short. As you can see, this report got me excited here. It comes from Jason A. He dropped this hours ago, but I was watching it this morning and, you know, I'm compelled to do a video on it, man, because this is what we waiting for. This is the exit ticket out of here, the hour of temptation. And this is when it's going to get serious. This is when it's going to get serious for you Christians out here debating us, you fake Israelites. And when I say fake Israelites, that doesn't mean you're not an Israelite, like our apostles say. You're not an actual Israelite, bloodline-wise, and fit the prophecies. Fake meaning that y'all not the true worshipers of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Most likely not the elect, okay? But you're out here scheming, playing games, and wasting time. And you found your rest, and that's in the Great Babylon. That's why you defend this place. This is your rest. You know, this is Revelations 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience. The patience goes into suffering. There's a cross you got to carry in this truth. You know, and we understand that cross. You know, it's clear to us. You know, and that's disconnected from this world, your old habits, you know, the ideas of Babylon, the companionship, you know, resisting the flesh. There's a fight. You know, that's a sacrifice you take when you actually come over to the other side with Yahweh Shah. And most of these Israelites, they don't understand that. So they're partying. They're in party mode. They don't want to take the sacrifice and say no and turn off the flesh from this place. So they're not going to fit this scripture. Because what patience have you kept for Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah? You haven't done anything. You haven't fully repented and came over to the other side. And now we here. Now we here. The time of reckoning where the Lord is about to separate the elect from the non-elect. Because it's only Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah that can save us for what's about to hit. So it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation that's about to hit. And this hour of temptation, we seeing it. We're going to play this video in a minute. This is it. The digital ID. You know, this is the hour. And the hour just goes into a time period. You know, how when the Lord allowed this thing to become mandatory. Now, they starting with the illegals. Apostle Tahar said that they may let the immigrants back in and just chip them all. They probably chipping them already. But we're going to listen to this. And this report is coming from out of Britain. You know, because they got their form of the RFID chip over there. But it's going to spread all over the world like a wildfire.
Because we've been hearing from senior members of the government in the last few days saying that they are supporting the idea of introducing them. Let's have a listen to the Prime Minister and the Home Secretary.
I'm determined to stop people making that crossing across the channel and to get people out of our hotels. And therefore I am looking at ID cards or digital ID, because we do need to look at the pull factors.
We have got to deal not just with disrupting the trade in people that is bringing people across the channel, but we've also got to deal with some of the reasons why they're getting in the boat in the first place, looking to come to the UK. And to our mind, digital ID has a role to play here.
So Lucy, are you in favour of this idea?
Absolutely not. I think it's a slippery slope, obviously, and I think, to coat it in the narrative that it's supposed to, help with immigration and help with illegal immigration is just farcical. I think it's something that is being wrapped around as a narrative to try and get people who originally didn't like it to
Salakia for these commercials.
It's quite ironic. I remember me talking about this 2 or 3 years ago about, oh, well, you can see the government doing this at some point, whether it's to do with net zero, whether it's to do with immigration. And many of us were accused of being conspiracy theorists for suggesting this. And here we are, where this is now on the table.
Keir Starmer's government is considering introducing digital ID, yes, digital ID, for every person in the United Kingdom because of, wait for it, illegal immigrants. Yes, the vanguard that they're going to use to bring in digital ID so that everything you ever do can all be centralised into one place owned by the government is the fact that people are getting on boats and coming across the channel. Now, there's always the option of stopping the boats or turning them back like we did here in Australia. But Sir Keir Starmer says, no, we're going to look into this digital ID because apparently there are too many of these illegal migrants going for jobs and it's impossible to tell whether they are illegal migrants or not. So you must have a digital ID which, according to the Times of London, would allow you to prove eligibility to work. It would allow you to pay bills. It would allow you to vote online. It would allow you to sign contracts, allow you to shop. I mean, are we talking about you're going to need a digital ID to go into a shop now?
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Yeah, it's about to get real. It has been real. We here. We about to leave. Yahweh Ratazah, we the Lord's elect. We don't have to wait long. This is. Hey, we here. Hold on, I'm gonna play a little more. This is. I know we know these prophecies, but to see it walking off the book and taking place right now, man, it's believable and it's unbelievable. I gotta say it like that. I mean, I believe the scriptures. I think we all, but it's seeing it. Oh, thank you, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, for pulling me out and giving me this understanding, Whew, this is Habakkuk 2 verse 1. I will stand upon my watch. And that's what we do. We watching. We standing. It says, and set me upon the high tower. Who's the highest tower right now we stand on? Yahweh Shah. It tell you in Proverbs 18:10, the Lord name is a strong tower. The righteous runneth in it and are safe. Well, we stand under the name Yahweh and the name Yahweh Shah right now because that's all we got. That's all we need. So this ain't the time to slip and get weak. Akim. This ain't the time. The burden is on us. The Lord picked us. The Lord picked our apostles, man, our leaders to do this job at this time. We in the year 2025 AD. We about to see the turning of this kingdom and the kingdom of heaven established on planet Earth. Now we on our watch. We on our tower. We know what the scriptures say. We running. We reading and we running because time is running out. This thing is about to hit. It says, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me. And the Lord speaks to us. Like Habakkuk was waiting on his watch. He was waiting to hear the visions from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Now, the wait is over for us. We see that we got the book. We got the seals. They've been popped. They've been broken by the Lamb, Yahushua. And they've been given out to the servants, the Lord's friends, man. That's in planet Earth. So this is the time to stand up strong, stand up bold. Don't let Satan try to trick you. Don't be bound with your sins. Cover it with your sins, He trying to trick you out to salvation, to give up your crown. Because this thing is going down. It says, and what will I answer when I am reproved? And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision Write the vision. We have it, which is these prophecies. The mark of the beast was one of them visions given to John, the Revelator, 2,000 years ago. Everybody about to experience biblical prophecy once they make this chip mandatory. They're not hiding no more because we here. We here, so the vision is clear. Everybody will know that there are characters in the book real soon. Just in case you wondering, are you in biblical times? When they make this mandatory, you heard what this guy said, you're going to be able to buy, sell, everything. Like the prophecy says, you're going to understand the book. But by then, it's too late. They're going to take these videos down. Certain men will be deemed enemy of the state. The big T word. Oh, but this is when the Lord going to get busy for his men. I tell you that Michael going to stand up at this time. Maybe we can get that next. Because we waiting for miracles. While you sitting back looking for a dollar bill, we waiting for miracles to hit. They're impossible to happen for us. We standing on our faith. It says, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain. Now it's about to be plain, easy to see, upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And that's the men of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Let me get this in another version here. Come on. What is this? Where's my versions at? See these phones at? Let me see something here. Let me just keep it here because this phone is acting up. It says, write the vision, but at the end, that's how we know we at the end. A lot of people don't know what happens from here. You know, when Babylon is gone, what's next? Well, we're here to tell you the kingdom of heaven is removing this kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is coming in, it's coming in strong. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lift up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And that's what we standing on right now, the faith. Because this thing right here, for you to continue to pay your mortgage, go to work, pay your college tuition, right? Send your kids to school, go on vacation. You know, come on, man. Everything, you know, the NLT not working on this phone. Now this, okay, we're going to do this here. Because we're not going to let this stop. 1 second.
This is a one-stop shop for the government to have total oversight and total control of everything you do in your life, and they're going to try and get it passed by saying, well, we need it to combat illegal migrants.
Surely that is just an excuse.
He speaks on it domestically, he speaks on it globally. His reasoning, pretty honest, in fact, is that, yeah, it does mean you surrender a little bit of privacy, but we're a global world and there's no other way than going forward. And if you want to go forward, we have to work with new technology. That seems to be the thinking here. And that's pretty much the line that most other countries that support this will give. We're not quite hearing that from the Prime Minister, though.
If the deal's no good, I'm blaming you, Scott. It's a great honor. This agreement will also help America and our British allies dominate the future of artificial intelligence.
We here.
You need the energy. You have to have the energy. That's one thing I learned very quickly. They need a lot of electricity. In the United States, you need double what we have right now just to maintain that fight. We're right now, and I want to say, leading China and the world by a lot in AI, a lot. But we're committed to ensuring that you have secure and reliable sources of American AI and quantum technology. We intend to always be the UK's strongest, closest, and most...
Come on, man. Okay, everything is just, let me see something. And Salakia, you know, it happens, you know, with these videos. You got spirits everywhere, you know, just acting up. Let's get this a shot. Let me turn this off. Let's see what happens now. We can get right back into this.
It's very important to us. The relationship is very important. Again, I want to thank the Prime Minister. He worked very hard on this and getting this deal done. This is long in the making. They've been talking about it for a long time, and we got it done. And it's a real honor to be with you, and thank you very much.
$69 Special Forces device turns men into beasts. It emulates 54,000 crunches in...
I think it's just a way for policymakers to consolidate data on the general population and consolidate and centralize data to make it easier for them to create new policy. And I think ultimately it undermines our civil rights. And I think everybody who's watching Politics Live right now, I think they should really consider the detrimental impacts that ID cards could have on their freedom.
And that is a potentially big and useful thing, ostensibly to tackle crime, but it begs the question about our civil liberties, and I think that is a very, very big question.
Yeah, and it's also a valid question as well. And we know in terms of it's okay. All right, we might have a bit of an iffy government at the moment, but I don't think they're intent on. I was about to say putting us in prison for hurting words. Maybe they are intent on that, but I don't think their intention is a nefarious one. I think it's a rather simplistic sort of maybe slightly left-wing one. Although I'm pretty sure the Tories will be having the same debate on this at the moment. But of course, when you're legislating, you're thinking about policies that come in this respect. Charles, is what a future government might do with it, and that I suppose is a reasonable, a reasonable tentacle for debate.
Yes, clearly. I mean, we don't want to be in a situation. I mean, if you look at the way in which the Chinese operate with surveillance of virtually the entire population in one way or another, virtually to the point, as you joked earlier, about walking out of a room and having a chip in your hand, it's not far from that in China, I think. And so therefore, it is a slippery slope, and you can only make a decision like this with a big consensus, and it wasn't in the manifesto. So is it a knee-jerk reaction to a fact that they've lost the initiative on migration?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's exactly that. Charles, great to have you on with us, sir. Thank you. Charles Hymas is the Home Affairs editor over there at the Telegraph. Thank you to him. James Melville, social and political commentator, friend of the show as well. James, good afternoon to you. Look, I know, like me, we're big fans of Keir Starmer. He's a top bloke. He's got it all. Is he there? Has he got it all sorted out? He knows what he's doing. I don't think he's with us. Is he with us? Oh, okay. James, you with us? Hi.
I'm here.
Hello. Sorry, you weren't. Nobody put you up on the screen, so I couldn't see you. I was assuming you lagged off somewhere. Big supporter of Starmer, of course. I know you are, and you love all of his work and his greatest hits. And this is just another one. I'm sure you're going to tell me it's splendid stuff. Bring it on.
Yeah, it's another example of government overreach. I think there's a number of problems here. First of all, how is this going to solve the problem? It seems to me, again, it's a bit of deflection from Starmer and the government to say, okay, we've got a problem, there's the reaction, and this is our solution under the auspice of safety and convenience. The words and mantras of most authoritarian governments in history. We've seen this playbook before. We've talked about this even in COVID. There has actually been a form of digital ID, universal digital ID before, when we move towards vaccine passports. So we have gone through this drill before, but there's other aspects that are a problem with this. And I think
so that was a test run, as you can hear. The V passports was a test run. You hear him bring it up. Like the apostles were saying when it was going on. This was the pilot for the real thing rolling out now. Now the real thing about the real, like you also heard him say, problem, action, solution. The Hungarian dialect. Pressure from above, pressure from below. Create the problem, look at the reaction, then come in with the solution. They're using this immigration thing. So this is another reason for the borders being on. See, this thing is going down. The Lord is balling everything up. See, the doors of grace is about to close, the doors of mercy. The Jacob trouble's about to hit. This thing gonna be wow. Oh, also expect your energy bill to go up. You heard what Trump said. We need lots of energy for this. So now the big investors are, BlackRock just bought up PSE&G where I'm at. They buying up all these electricity companies because they know you're going to need a big system to run this thing. Yeah, we here.
talking about digital ID is about what exactly is the social contract between government and also the public. They're supposed to be working for us. You know, we pay their wages. And this sort of thing, it seems to me, another example of government overreach, whereby they are deciding measures that weren't in their manifesto that have profound implications in the future in terms of not just our privacy, civil liberties, but also where does the data, in whatever form it goes, where does it end up? Do we end up with data harvesting? Do we have privacy of information? And ultimately, what is the objective in terms of the thing that they're saying they're going to try and fix? Illegal migration. And it does pose questions about how far you take this, bearing in mind we have gone through this before with vaccine.
If you're somebody that
Ton of
drives for
commercials
work
today,
like me, keep watching because I'm about to make your life easier for tax.
There seems to be a constant push to try and get this through the door. And I'm just wondering why there is this constant push, because we've seen that this sort of collection of data and the centralization of data, I think is a defense folly. I think having all of our eggs in one basket, having all of our, medical data, all of our financial data, this opens up a world of discrimination for the ordinary person. And the mandatory section, I think this is something that won't be mandatory. It will be increasingly enforced, like COVID passports that was tried to get through the last government, and I think that's what will happen here. I'm worried about it.
And ultimately, what will the government do with this? Will it just be focused on one issue? I doubt that very much. It could then mission creep into other aspects of the loss of privacy and possibly other things bolted onto it. Where does it actually stop? And as you pointed out, what happens with future governments? Will this be ditched? Will other things be carrying on in terms of digital ID? And it is a bit of a concern, I think, that 80% of people would welcome a form of universal digital ID.
I think the first debate I did about this was, I'm tempted to say maybe 20 odd years ago, maybe 25 years ago, the first time it was in that ballpark, because this discussion has been around forever, that you would have a sort of global database.
The evil one releases really his
global database. Global in the geo sense, because Revelations 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour or the time of temptation. And this is it. When they roll this thing out, they're gonna have a universal high income and a universal basic income. That's included, because ain't nobody got no jobs. So the people gonna need mortgages paid. They're already sleeping in their car. Now they outlawed homelessness. They making you a criminal if you're sleeping in a park. So they offering this device and this money in there. People gonna run out. They're gonna be tempted. They're gonna run out. They're gonna get it. They're gonna make this thing fashionable. You're going to see the rappers with it. You're going to see the movie stars. Shit, Denzel. He going to walk out with one. He going to have to get his money out the bank. Will Smith, Oprah Winfrey, Beyonce, Floyd Mayweather. Especially, these flashy guys like Floyd and them, man. 50 Cent. You name it, man. Jay-Z, you name it. This when the rollout starts, just like they did with the Sticky Icky. They got the entertainers, Mariah Carey, all of them involved. And the average simpleton walking around Babylon don't know what the hell is going on. They gonna look at this as a digital come up, like they stealing money from the government or something, not knowing the Lord is trapping them. Because when this happens, right here, like the apostle always say, everything about to move quick. Everything about to move quick. So it says, which shall come upon all the world. Like you heard what he said. A central data that controls the world in the geosystem. When you click on this word world, that's how you can see this thing is not just going to be Babylon. It's going to hit the world. The world is behind this, the World Bank. This world, come upon all the world. This is Orkamini. This word world here. That's Orkamini, and this is in the actual, the globe sense. To try them that dwell upon the earth. And this earth here, this is It's geo. Okay? The earth, the land, the mainland, the earth as a whole. So the world is going to be presented with this temptation, was this form of survival. And we all know the scripture. We're going to get it. We got to, because we here. Now, this is an exciting time, man. That's why you hold your gun. You got to thank Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, for the position you have right now in this truth. He could have left us out there in the cold, man. And this thing is going down, and we don't know what the hell is going on. We would have had to take it. Now, will the Lord keep us? Hey, we trust in him. I believe what Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah said. The Bible, he never lied yet. He said, if you keep my patience, I'm with you. And we rolling with the big dog, man. This is Revelation 13, verse 16. And he calls it all. You know, the beast is the system. You want to participate in the system? You want to continue to, you know, kids going to college? You like Disney World? You know? You ever been on a cruise ship? You want to eat? You want to go out? You want to date? Oh, the dating scene going to blow up when this thing hit, man. All of a sudden, you know, the speed dating is on. The men are showing up. They got money to waste now. Oh, yeah, this thing is going to be wild. It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. This is basically how you get your money. No more paper dollars. You having $20 million don't mean nothing, just like the guy having $1,000. The thousandaire going to take it. The hundredaire going to take it. The millionaire going to take it. The multi-millionaire. The billionaire going to have to take it. Yeah. You can't buy your way out of this. The only way out of this is the Lord keeping you from that hour of temptation, waiting on miracles. And y'all ain't got that. You Christians don't have that. Y'all don't believe in the unseen. Y'all down with the system. Y'all celebrating Halloween that's coming up. You're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving, Christmas. You down with the beast, man. You down with this system here. That ain't for y'all. That's for the elect men of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, and that elect lady that's out there, her children. I tell you, the just shall live by his faith. That's the weapon. Y'all gonna be living by the dollars. We gonna live on the faith, which is going to overpower the system. So it says, rich or poor, free and bound. You got you gremlins in prison. You want to continue to get your commissary. Somebody gonna put money on your books. You got to take this. Oh, you want to get out early? We cut your sentence in half. You just went from a 30-year to 15 years. You know they're going to be breaking their neck to put that thing in them. They did it with the sticky icky. And that's going to be a temptation. Oh, you need to tell me you're going to cut my time in half if I put this device in me? Yeah, give it to me. Everything is about to move really quick, man. It says to receive a mark. This is M-A-K mark, but it's not just a regular mark, you know. And this is for the new listeners. We know the Akim know this, you know, and those that just coming along, finding out, you know, bumping into these videos. You better praise the Lord for quick faith, quick understanding. This is charagma, okay, which is a stamp or imprinted mark. Because how they get that device in you, they call it a clean break in the medical term. They're going to use a syringe, which is like the end of a stake. They're going to just like they draw your blood, you know, but they're going to be pushing that device instead of withdrawing. They're going to be applying that device into your hand with that syringe. That's the charagma. In the root word to charagma, which is the charax, the needle part of the syringe, which is the pale, a stake, or palisade. You know, when you look it up, let me just click on this here, because they should have some in. Let me see. This is a pale. Let me see here. Feeble. I want to get a State post used. I want to get an image. Let me see. A Palisade. Just bear with me for a second. A fence, a wooden stake. All right. It's lock here. All right. This dictionary. Okay, they don't have the image, but you know what? That's not the image I'm looking for. That's a Palisade. That's a car there. Let me see this here. Okay. Now you see this here at the end, at the bottom of this is the sharp part that goes into the Palisade, something called a stake wall or Palisade typical row. No, that's let me just do this. So bear with me. Just want to get an image. This is for the new listeners. Let me see here. Chat TV. RFID chip implant. Okay, as you can see, when they say Palisade, let me just click on this here. This hand here. This is how it looks. Okay. This point here at the tip. That's the Koroks, and then it will inject that device right there. Right there. It's gonna go up under the second layer of the skin. Okay? And this is what they're talking about. This thing right here. And you're going to do a lot with this. You know, this is why it says it's miracles in the scriptures. You can pay bills, move around, just like your digital wallet in your hand. No need for a wallet. You know, everybody's driving a electric vehicle, so you can open your door with it. You know, no more car keys. You're going to punch in at your job. This is what you're going to take because the Lord ain't going to be with you. Because you thought this was a joke. You thought it was a game. So you're going to find yourself in line to get one. But you got money. You're going to have to pay rent. The Lord ain't going to show up for you. This is when that faith going to stand out. So you don't need faith right now when you got your credit cards and the stores are open. But see, it's coming a time when this is going to be the only game in town. This and the Heavenly Father. Look at them things. And they ready to go. These devices are ready to go. So this is where we at, man. So you think it's time to play games? You know? And when you go into the games are over, you know, this is the time of reckoning. And the final root word is grapho, which is to write. It's a programming system on there with reference to form of letters. You know, and on that device we're looking at here, there's a program, a system on it, the same system that's on your phone, and you'll be connected to the grid. You know, they got a movie out called Upgrade. You can watch that movie. They show you how he was connected, you know, to this device, and your body will keep it charged. And this goes into the biotech, you know, and you become part of the system, and they track you, like Enemy of the State. The old movie with Will Smith, how they was tracking him through the satellites. They was able to activate them satellites and cut off his credit cards and watch his movements and chase him around the state. He was an enemy of the state. And if you disrespect or you burning too much carbon or you doing what you ain't supposed to do, yeah, they can shut this off. They can stop your payments. You know, they're going to give you a social credit score behind this here. You're going to have to pay all your parking tickets now. They go right into your account. They have full access to everything. The only way out of this is Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. That's it. This is damn near the scariest time on planet Earth right now, man. And you playing games with Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, man. This ain't no game. This is not a game. This is going down. You know, ain't going to be no talking your way out of this. No, because it's a biblical prophecy. So that means that device is the Heavenly Father's. He just put it in Esau's hand. So the only way around Yahweh device is Yahweh Shah, his son. That's it. Other than that, the Lord is going to make you take that chip. That's the scary part about it. The Lord going to put it in your head to go carry your black ass down there to a chipping station and stick out your hand and let them put a device in your hand because you want to go home and eat. Yo, that's scary. This is not the time to be playing because this is happening. It's a receive. Now you know what that mark is. In their right hand, which is just your hand, it could be right or left, or in their forehead. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, with disabilities will be looking into that one because they got the device to make you walk again. There are people walking around, you know, Neuralink. I think they got another company. I think it's called NeuroRock, something like that. You know, but it's several major companies that's already been doing it. And there's people walking around with chips in their head. So we at the end, and the Lord speaks about this as an end time prophecy. This is Revelations 15 and verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. And I saw as it were a sea of glass. This was the firmament or the sky mingled with fire because the bombs dropped. So upon this happening, World War III starts. World War III starts. The teaching is already picking up. The videos are going out heavier. So you can see the teaching is picking up for a reason. There's a lot of videos going out for a reason. So the elect is being sealed. World War III starts. The draft starts. The chaos and confusion, the Civil War, Jacob's trouble commence. And right, either before they shoot those bombs or while the bombs are in the air, Yahushua shows up with the fathership out of nowhere. The ship appears to collect his elect. The elect gets beamed up. This is the process that he's seeing here. That's why it says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. And them that had gotten the victory, they got the victory. So the elect gets beamed up. The bombs drop. Everybody shoot their bombs to Babylon here. This place is on fire. It's screaming, hollering. Those that took the mark, that's the punishment. You know, Revelations 14 and 9 and 10. The punishment for taking the mark is you're going to burn in this thermonuclear destruction. John seeing the elect in the ship. They looking out the ship. The fire is so hot, the mushroom clouds is reaching up to the sky. That's what he's seeing right now. It says, and he saw them that had gotten the victory over the beast, which is the system, and over his image, because this system mimics the ancient dragon, which is Rome. And over his mark, that mark there. They lived by their faith. The Lord did it. He created miracles and they stuck by it. They stuck to their guns. So eventually they put their trust in Yahweh, not in Jesus, not in Allah. Y'all gonna take it. You Muslims gonna take it. Like y'all took that in 2020. You Christians gonna take it. You talking all this Christian stuff. You took that juice. You took it and you went and got boosted. And guess what? You gonna take this here. So this ain't talking about you. This talking about those that have the name Yahweh and his son named Yahushua. And that's only a few people. The remnant is small. It's called the elect, the remnant for a reason. They made it through all this by their faith. Remember, the just shall live by his faith. The faith is the weapon. I'm going to read it again. Habakkuk 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lift up is not upright in him. That's you Edomites. But the just, and you 2/3 are not right either. But the just is ones that have been justified. They've been called. They've been justified. They've been cleared with the blood of Yahushua. The elect, the just, the elect shall live by their faith. It's a weapon. Your faith is a weapon. It's not to be, I'm walking around, I got faith in God. No, It's a weapon. It's a tool that's about to be used. The faith is going to get us out of all situations. We walking with the faith of Abraham. So the just shall live by that faith. And with faith comes trust, respect for Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. Everything wrapped up in that, the grace, the mercy. The Lord ain't giving that faith out to everybody. That faith is a gift. Let me get it. You don't give a gift like that to everybody. And you're going to find out these people don't have faith. They just talk a good game because the stores are open. The banks are up. You know, they driving nice, fancy cars. They still out here food shopping. They going to the mall. So, yeah, they talking, oh, God is good. But when the Lord shut all this down, now you're going to go back to the big government daddy and ask for help. You're going to forget about all this God and church and praying 4-5 times a day. That's going to go out the window like it did before. And you're going to go down there and take this damn device. This is Ephesians 2 verse 8. For by grace are you saved through faith. You ain't giving that to everybody. Everyone doesn't have faith. And that includes Israelites out there teaching. They don't have the faith. They got subscribers, yes. Are they #1 debaters? Yes. Can they go into history? Can they make you look stupid in the book? Yes. But do they have faith? No. Because the faith is activated now. We living on it now. That's not something you play with. And that not of yourselves, so you can't just develop faith. Ain't no gym faithful. It's either you got it or you don't. It says it is the gift of Yahweh. So it's a gift and not of works. Not because we were so righteous do we believe, lest any man should boast. So we can't boast about the faith. And how do you know you got it? Let's go to Hebrews 11 verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for. What are we hoping for? The salvation. Going in a ship. You tell somebody that you going up in a ship when these bombs come, they're going to look at you like you crazy. They don't have the faith. We don't expect you to understand, Mr. Bunker Man. You go do what you do. Make sure your basement is clean and you got your canned goods ready and your rifles and guns. That's your world. This is our world here. This whole thing revolves around faith. It starts with the faith. So it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The evidence will be, we've been speaking about it, then it happens. What was the evidence Noah needed? He needed that rain. Once he built that ark, now he just needs that rain to put it all together. Boom, the rain came. Noah was found faithful. But he had it. The faith allowed Noah to see the rain, see the floods before it happened. 6th verse. But without faith, this is how serious this weapon is, and we're going to need it. We believe in miracles. We believe on what you can't see. And things are happening to us now. Now. You can't turn that faith off. You can't turn it on. It's Yahweh's gift to his elect. And we're going to need it real soon. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. So a lot of y'all going to put the book down. Y'all going to put the Bibles down. Y'all going to put them megaphones down. This internet, you know, it won't be able to come on here and make your money anymore. You might still have some false prophets still up here. But the majority of people going to put the Bible down. The women out here trying to break the Bible down, you're going to stop? Because there's real danger outside of your door. There's real trouble. And you never had the faith. You just had the book. And, you know, you had a TV screen, you know, and you've been recording videos. That's all you've really been doing. You've been playing around with the word. But the faithful, we living by this, man. This is life and death for us. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, So when you come to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, you got to believe that he is. A lot of people don't believe. And that he is a rewarder. There's a reward for standing strong. For keeping the patience. There's a reward that all the men of the ancient world saw. That we see. We see the kingdom. And the kingdom of heaven is going to be in earth. You don't have to die. This is what they're not telling you. So you don't hear about the kingdom of heaven on your 9 o'clock news. So you like, what is that? Is that Russia, Japan, China? No. The kingdom of heaven is about to be built up. But Yahushua got to get here first. We got to finish out these few prophecies. And we out of here. We out of here, man. We don't want to be here anymore. Ain't nothing here for us. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder to them that diligently. You can't stress this part enough, because the faithful will diligently seek him. No time off, especially at a time like this. At a time like this. Like Apostle say, Apostle McCarr say, keep your medicine strong. Right now, be strong in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, because this is about to happen. The scariest time on planet Earth is about to take place. And we walking with the biggest weapon, which is our faith. And the world going to see it. They're going to witness it. And they ain't going to know what they looking at. So back with John saw. John 15, verse 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. And them that had gotten the victory, these are the faithful ones, the elect. How did they get the victory? They walk with that faith. Over the beast and over his image and over his mark. And over the number of his name. Stand on the seas, because they were in the air. They were in the ship. Having the harps of Yahweh. Now the new song is being played, which is this doctrine, the word of salvation. But they had harps in their hand. And they sang in the song of Moses while Babylon was burning. Revelations 18. The nations are crying. The elect is singing in the ship. The song of Moses, the servant of Yahweh. The song of the Lamb, which is Yahushua, saying, great and marvelous is thy works. The destruction of Babylon is the work. The destruction of Babylon means the coming in of the kingdom of heaven. On earth. The Lord Almighty, just and true, meaning we do, Lord willing, Yahweh, we of the elect, we make it, we believe, we trust it to the end. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. It says, just and true are thy ways, O King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Yahweh, and glorify thy name? Now the Lord's name is going to be in the earth, because someone have to take responsibility for what was just done. For the rescuing of the elect, for the destruction of the 1/3 of man. The evildoers, man. Esau, for bringing down this kingdom, man. The Lord is going to take credit. His name is going to ring out in the earth again, once again. It won't be a secret or just the Lord's true people that have the name. The world will know Yahweh, and Yahushua has done this in that ship. Who shall not fear thee, O Yahweh, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy. That's it. And he has a holy people. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. Okay? This is what's about to happen, about to take place. So only the elect, boom, goes up into that ship, man. So we in a time, we here. We here, you see it, you heard it. You know, it's about to get dark for E, man. It's about to get dark for E. So Akim, Akwath, hold on. You know, the men of the Lord out there on them highways and byways, we not lying to you. You know, our apostles are great millstone. They not lying. They doing their job, and job well done. Hopefully, Yahweh, we all endure to the end. Because Babylon is done, man. Giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahak, Wadah, Shalom.